Okay, we know some of you are still shuffling in and kind of getting started here with us today. You feel free to interact with us there in the chat box or in the Q&A during today's webinar. So today is going to be office hours. This is a teacher-geared webinar with our team here from CodeMonkey. So if you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, we also have a Facebook group for our CodeMonkey superfans and also on our blog. And you can follow us at CodeMonkey STU. And you can also tweet at us today during today's webinar using the hashtag CodeMonkey webinar, which will be located in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. And today our panelists are going to hop on and also share with you. My name is Lena Saleh and I'm the Professional Development and Sales Manager here at CodeMonkey.
Hi, I'm Amit and I'm a Product Manager at CodeMonkey.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. My name is Talia and I'm the Head of Customer Success at CodeMonkey.
Oops. All right, and today's webinar objectives, are going to be that we are going to review the teacher's homepage, how to give your students access, add a co-teacher, how to follow your students' progress, the teacher resources, and we will leave some time for you at the end for Q&A. We also invite you, like I mentioned before, to ask us questions in the chat box or also ask us questions in the Q&A box. All right, so we always like to start off just telling a little bit about CodeMonkey and kind of what it is. So CodeMonkey is a leading program for kids. It provides online engaging courses for students to learn how to code in a gamified way. It was developed for both schools and teachers in mind, as well as standards aligned. We are ISTE, CSTA, Common Core, and also aligned with all of the states as well. It is a K-8 coding curriculum really designed to put teachers in the driver's seat while teaching CodeMonkey. There is no prior experience needed to teach it, as well as there is no prior experience needed to learn. Talia says, oops. All right, and from here, Talia is going to go ahead and take over. So we are seeing her here in our classroom's dashboards page.
Okay, now I'm muted. Sorry.
It's okay.
Hi, everybody. So we want to give you a short overview of the platform, but mainly, ultimately the goal here is really leave time for you to ask your questions. We really want to thank you for choosing CodeMonkey during this time. We hope you find it helpful and joyful for yourself and for your students. Some of you might be new to CodeMonkey, so we'll go over some of the different features available for you as a teacher in CodeMonkey, and then we'll also get to your questions. So feel free to write your questions either in the chat or in the Q&A box. The team will get to it during the webinar, or we'll leave it for the end of the webinar. Sorry, for after the demo. So this is my demo teacher account. I'm gonna use this, and here to the left we have the menu navigation. So I'm just gonna go over this quickly. Basically, under courses, this is where you as the teacher, same as your students, can access the courses that are available for you as part of your subscription, and you can actually access the courses yourself and play them the courses yourself. And we really recommend you to do that even before you assign them to your students. And this is basically how your students will see their courses as well, but only the courses that you will assign to them, and we'll see that later. We have here also the teacher resources, which with a lot of great resources, and we might dive into that a bit later. Lesson plans are available for all of our courses. And I'm gonna go to the My Classrooms page right here. And this is where I can see all the classrooms I have as a teacher. And as you can see, this teacher already has 2 classrooms in the classrooms list. If I want to create a new classroom, I click on the create new button, create new classroom button. I put the name, I choose which subscription I'd like to connect it to, and I click on create classroom. So as a new teacher, you would either create a new classroom and connect it to your subscription, or you might already have a classroom which is connected to the teacher trial, which you've received when you first joined CodeMonkey, and you might want to upgrade that classroom to a new subscription that has maybe more access to more content or has a longer duration. So we call that upgrading your classroom to a new subscription. Using that arrow, this is how you can upgrade it and choose the subscription you'd like to upgrade it to. Once you've upgraded the classroom to the new subscription, all the students in that classroom will be able to access the content available in that subscription. And let's dive into.
Can I just hop in super quick? So I'm just following up on that. Talia did a really great job of showing you that we've been receiving a lot of questions about why you would want to upgrade. So that just means that your classroom is attached to a different subscription. So in order to get the full benefits from the COVID-19 subscription, you'll just need to upgrade it. So that just basically means that you're applying the new subscription to your classroom.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Thanks, Lena. So after I've upgraded my classroom, it is now connected to the new subscription. And I'm just going to click here on one of the classrooms, Adventures in Coding, just so we can see what we call the classroom dashboard right here. It has 6 tabs here on top. And I'm just seeing here a question from Sandra. Is there a charge for the upgrade? So no, once you have a subscription, it has a number of seats that you can use as part of that subscription. So as long as you have available seats, you're able to upgrade the classroom. Once you do the upgrade action, it will also show you how many seats you're going to use once you do the upgrade. We also have a great how-to video on the upgrade, and we can also share it in the chat. So I'm back to the classroom dashboard, 6 tabs here on top. This dashboard is available for each of your classrooms. The first tab I actually want to show you is the Students tab. And this is where you'll see the list of your students. So this classroom already has 33 students. And I want to add new students, which is with using this Add Students button. So we actually have 3 ways to add new students. You can create the student accounts yourself, either create a single account. So this is great if you have just a few students and you one by one add them to the classroom, or by bulk uploading them using a CSV file. You just create the file. It has great, very thorough instructions here. You upload the file and the students are populated to your classroom. Make sure to provide your students with their usernames and password. The third way, and this might be a very relevant option during these days when students are joining from home, is what we call joining using a class code. So this is a great option if your students are joining from home. They can either create their own CodeMonkey accounts and then join the classroom using the class code. Each classroom has its own unique code, so you're going to share that with your students, and then they can either create their own accounts and use the class code to join the classroom, or they can use one of their already existing accounts, such as if they use their Google account, ClassLink, Clever. So different single sign-on options are available, and that's great if you don't want your students to have multiple accounts on different platforms. So have them use your single sign-on option, and they would join their classroom using the class code. So that's the class code option.
And sorry. And as far as the class code option, we do have a really great how-to video that you can share with your students on how to join using a class code. This is really important when doing the single sign-on. There's been a lot of teachers that have created accounts and then the students add their own. So this is how the students will get populated into your classroom.
Yeah, great. We'll make sure to also share that link in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna move a bit quick because we have a lot of great questions here. Another thing that came up a lot now that we're providing the subscription during this COVID-19 period of time, you can have a subscription connected to your account as a teacher, but you can add your colleagues as co-teachers to the classroom. You go to the Students tab, you go all the way down, and you can send an invite to your colleague. Once they accept the invite, they'll see the classroom in their CodeMonkey account, and they'll be able to view the classroom just like you can, access the students, see their progress, see the solution, and also access the courses themselves. Last thing before we move to the questions is the Courses tab, because once you've created your classroom and added students, you need to decide which courses you want to assign to your classroom. Without you assigning the courses, they won't be able to access them. So we have our Coding Adventure course. So the first part of Coding Adventure would be assigned by default, but all other courses, you would need to click Assign to Class in order to have it assigned to your classroom. You can always come back here and unassign. So we have here all the courses that are available to you as part of your subscription, and you as the teacher can come here and choose which ones to assign. Let's look at a few questions that we have here.
So one question that we had here was, I do not have the option in my trial, and the up arrow is grayed out. Okay,
so the up arrow would be available only once you have an additional subscription. So only if you have only one subscription, then you don't have an additional subscription to upgrade your classroom to. So once you get a new subscription, you'll be able to upgrade it so that you'll see that the upwards arrow would be available for you.
Would you be able to show them that on the page?
The upwards arrow?
The boxes where they can see the other subscriptions that they have?
Yeah, great idea. So I'm going back to the My Classrooms page. So this is where I see all of my classrooms. And you can see here this brown student seats box. If I click on View All, I can see the different subscriptions that I have as a teacher, and all the the different details such as the available content, number of seats available, how many seats I've used so far, and the start and end date of the subscription. So this is a great place to go to see the status of your subscription and also see how many seats you have available. So that's right here in the brown box.
Another question that we had here is, when students join using the class code, will they be choosing their username and password?
Yes, they would be. So they have two options. They can create their own account by typing in a username, choosing a username and a password, or they can use one of our single sign-on options, such as Google or Clever, ClassLink, Office 365, and join using their existing account. So both. And
are we going to show them how to do that?
Yeah, let's go ahead. We have another question here regarding students view. So let's quickly show that as well.
And Nick, I see your question here. I'm going to go ahead and answer this. Are the courses intended to be at the student's own pace, or do we assign what modules they need to do? So a lot of our, when we've been setting you up with the COVID subscriptions, we've been sending you a scope and sequence. So traditionally, in a traditional online, traditional class model, ideally you would be doing the lesson plans with the students. However, in this case, it's a little bit different. You're not necessarily doing live lessons. Some teachers are able to interact with their students and some are not able to interact with their students. So we're kind of leaving it up to you. However, in the progress page, you can actually limit the students' progress. I personally suggest doing that rather than having the students go at their own pace. I would limit their progress to, say, challenge number 30. This also allows me to look at and evaluate the students' progress and kind of have an understanding if they are able to really understand the concepts that are presented. And if they aren't, then I will have them to go in and do the skill mode for that additional enrichment practice. Nick, you can follow up with me after this and we can kind of talk through that a little bit more if you would like as well.
Great. Lena, can you see my screen now? Can you see my homepage?
It's loading, but yes.
Okay, great. So I just want to show you how a student would log in themselves, and also answering Caroline's question to see the student's view. So I'm going to click here on login. Oh, sorry. Actually, I'm going to go to sign up because I'm a new user. Who are you? I'm going to choose student. And then, do you have a classroom code? Well, my teacher already provided me with the classroom code. So I'm going to click on yes. And I have this ready. So I'm going to enter the class code, which my teacher has provided me with. I'm going to click on next. And now I need to either choose to sign up using one of the single sign-on options, or just enter username and password. I'm going to call myself Super Coder. Okay, great. So last stop. As a student, I can also save this the username and the password that I created. I can download this so I can have it handy next time I want to join in. And clicking on Let's Play, being redirected to my home page. I can choose my avatar. I want to be a flamingo today. And this is my home page. Currently, this student has joined a trial classroom. But as you can see, it looks pretty similar to what we saw before from the teacher's view. Under courses, this is where the student can access the courses. First part of Coding Adventure is assigned by default, but other courses would need to be assigned by the teacher. Okay, I'm going to return to my teacher's page. Okay, let's see what other questions we have here.
So there is another question here. If you assign multiple courses, how do you or your students determine which courses students can view or start? So if Talia goes into the courses page here. Oh, not the courses page, sorry, in the classrooms page.
Okay. Right. To the classroom dashboard.
Well, and then we can also show you on the student side also as well. So in the classroom dashboard page here under courses. So with our Banana Tales and our Coding Adventure courses, even if all the Coding Adventure courses are assigned to my students, they actually work linearly through the coding concepts. So if a student is starting on challenge number 0 in Coding Adventure, they cannot go to 210 in Coding Adventure Part 3. They have to work linearly through. So as they move through, the courses will unlock as they go through. The same is true with our Banana Tales course. As they work through, they can't go from challenge number 1 to challenge 150 without having done the individual activities in between. So even if all the courses are assigned to the students, in those courses, they have to move linearly through. And why that is because we are trying to build a strong foundation for the students. So if I skip and learn about simple loops and move into for loops, I won't have that understanding of everything that is needed in between, like defining a variable and what an index and array is. So there's certain concepts. This does not apply for the platformer, the Frogger, or the sprite animation course, because each one of those are designed to teach a certain coding concept or not a coding concept, certain game mechanics that will help them build and create their own game. Also, it doesn't apply for the Hour of Code courses or our Dodo Does Math course, because each one are designed to be individual.
Great. Okay, and if we're here and we talked about the courses tab, this is where you assign the courses. Let's hop on to the progress tab. And this is where you as a teacher and your co-teachers as well will be able to follow your students' progress in all of the courses that are available for them. And this is like the teacher's best friend, because you can always go here to see how your students are doing, especially now when you're not meeting them in the classroom. You're having them do a few challenges, so you can go here and see. And this table shows you your students here to the left. These are the challenges. We're now in Coding Adventure Part 1. I can sort my students either by progress or by name. And all of these stars, these represent solutions submitted by your students right here. And these numbers on top, these represent the challenges themselves. So if you can see, you can actually click on this, and as a teacher, you'll be able to access all the solutions for the challenges. So that's also a great resource for you. You might not always know how to solve a challenge. They do get quite challenging as you progress in the course. And you can just access the 3-star solutions for challenges in Coding Adventure and all the other challenges. And you can also share that link with your students. You know, if at some point it gets a bit tough and you want to help them, that's something that you can also share with them.
And also with the student solutions, you can click on any one of the stars that are located here, and you're able to see how many times a student attempted a challenge, and you're also to see exactly how they solved it in real time. What's really nice about this, especially when teaching this remotely, is that you can also share this with your students, and it is anonymous. So it's not like grading a writing sample where you're cutting the name off the top and the students can still see the kid's handwriting. You're able to actually share this anonymous solution with your students for that authentic conversation.
Great.
Talia, would you be able to show them how the courses are assigned on the student side, how if a course isn't assigned, how it will show up for them?
Yeah, let me go to a student account. 1 second.
And we just want to thank you guys so much for all of your questions that you've been asking. This is really a time meant for us to be able to help you during this time.
Hey, Talia, I have a student account open from your classroom. Do you want me to show it?
Sure.
Yeah, so I have a student from your Adventures in Coding classroom.
Can I give you an option to show your screen?
If you stop share.
Yeah, I'll do that now.
Okay.
Okay, so can you see my homepage? Will
Yeah.
S, right? So this is a student that has Coding Adventure Part 1 assigned. Talia, do you remember which courses are assigned? Did you assign all of them?
I assigned, let's see, is this Adventures in Coding classroom?
So for example, the Banana Tales Part 1 and Part 2 are unassigned at the moment. So the students will see a lock and it will say course locked by teacher. So in case students are interested and curious to hear about it, they might ask you about it since they see that it is locked by the teacher.
Yeah, that means you can also click on Coding Adventure Part 2. This course is assigned, but as Lena said,
is it assigned? Are you sure?
Oh, sorry. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Here's a good example. So Coding Adventure is assigned. Students may start coding. However, skill mode will only be unlocked to them once they start playing. Until they do that, they have this message saying complete Coding Adventure Challenge 6 to unlock. And so the same might be to part 2, if it is assigned, but students part 1, until they do complete it, it will be locked and it will say that they need to complete part 1 in order to unlock part 2.
Yeah, maybe it's also a good opportunity to mention skill mode, which are additional practice challenges that open up as students progress in coding adventure. So if you have these students who progress quickly, you want to give them some extra practice to practice the coding concepts that they've learned. You can refer them to the skill mode challenges. They have, as you can see, it looks quite similar to coding adventure, just with a black background. And we have this monkey we call Gordo in the corner with the sweatsuit for training and practice. Okay.
And I just shared a link with all of you in the chat box here. We did do a tour of courses explaining about each one of our courses and a little bit more detailed information about that. So I just shared that in the chat box, or on our COVID-19 page where you found the information for this webinar is also located all of the webinars that we have done this far. So I would recommend checking those out as well.
And we have a question here by Doug. Can you assign courses by student as well as by class? Well, Doug, currently courses are assigned per classroom, but what we do see sometimes teachers might create an additional classroom, because you can create as many classrooms as you'd like, and you can actually move over, let's say, the more advanced students to a second classroom and then assign the courses a bit differently to those students. So that's an option to use.
Would you want to show them how to move a student?
Okay, let's see. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my classrooms and I'm gonna go to class 1 because I have a few students there and I wanna move one of the students to another classroom. So all those actions that have to do with students, either editing you can edit their username, you can reset their password, and you can move them over. You do that from the students list in the classroom dashboard. So just by locating the student I want to move, clicking on move, and then just choosing the classroom I want to move the student to. If the classroom, the new classroom, is connected to a different subscription, I get here a little notice letting me know that this student will take up a seat in the new subscription. So I'm gonna move the students to Adventures in Coding. If I had more classrooms, I could have choose here. And now the student has successfully been moved to their new classroom. Okay, great question, and I hope that provides a solution for that need. Let's see, do we have any other questions? Okay, I think we can also show you guys our teacher resources. We have some great materials here. Let me go over some of these. So first here, Teaching with CodeMonkey. This is practical training and some useful explanations and tips relating to part 1 of Coding Adventure. It's about 75 minutes long. So you can take that course right here, a few videos. You can access it when it's convenient for you right here. And down here below, we have the lesson plans for all of our courses, as you can see all the way down. So check these out, they're right here. These are PDFs that you can just show or decide to print. Under how-to videos, this is where you can view the different actions that we've shown you here and more. Really short how-to tutorials on the different actions in your platform for you as a teacher. How to create a classroom, how to add students using a class code. We mentioned that, so you can also share that with parents. How to assign courses, all the different how-to videos are here. We have here some hour of code notes for our hour of code activities available for you here. And under classroom resources, you can access certificates, really great, cute certificates for the different courses that you can hand out to your students once they've completed a course, along with our media kit with access to a lot of great graphics and some classroom posters. Hopefully soon this will be relevant. You can hang this in your classroom. So all of these are available under teacher resources. We have here a question. Amit, do you know how to answer this?
Yeah, Talia, I was going to jump in. So
okay.
I have a question about Google Classroom, and I believe Danielle had asked me before about, had asked us about assigning from CodeMonkey to Google Classroom, assigning work to students. And I answered that we are working on a Google Classroom integration at this moment. Hopefully that's something that you guys will be able to use in about 3 weeks. And once it is ready, we will update you all by mail. So look out for an update from us. So her question is, how will students be able to move, I guess, if you have them logging in with Google Classroom, will that affect them? So I would just like to suggest that when we do have Google Classroom integration, we'll be happy if you could just contact us to see how we can move the students with all their progress to the new Google Classroom. And we'll probably have to do that on a case-to-case basis. So if you just contact us support, we can share the email now, and we'll be happy to help you.
All right, I'm just typing.
Great. And then I am just going to answer this question here from Janie. So where can I find state objectives correlated to CodeMonkey activities? So we do have all of our all of the standards listed in the lesson plans, but Talia can also show you where those are located on the courses page, Talia. And then we also so we'll show you that while she's getting that loaded. I'll answer another question here. Victoria asked this question. I just translated it. Sorry, Victoria, I'm not Spanish speaker. But the question was, what does archive to classroom mean? And do I release the seats?
Oh,
I was going to have you answer that. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So what does archive a classroom mean? That means that basically when you archive a classroom, it will go from being an active classroom in your classroom dashboard to being archived. So what that means is you will no longer see it there. All of the student details and information will still be kept there, but it will no longer be an active classroom. Correct?
Right. Okay. So that's correct. So once you archive it, it's also, we can also look at it as a way to organize your classrooms list, because hopefully as you continue with us, you might have more classrooms, continue in a second year, so more classrooms. So you want to organize that classroom list and archive classrooms that are no longer relevant. So by clicking on that archive button, we can show you that again. That's how you can just remove them from the classrooms list. You're not deleting them. They are in your archive. You can at any point go there to restore them. Once you archive a student or a classroom, this doesn't release their seats. So if the students already played during the year, then you archive them. It doesn't release their seats. You do have an option to delete a student account if the student hasn't made any progress in the game. So that is available for you. And of course, on special cases, if there's a need, if there was a duplicate or a mistake, you have our support email here, so just feel free to contact us on our support, and we'll help. Lena, am I looking at the right place?
Yep, you're in the right place. So on our
Okay.
CodeMonkey.com /courses here, down here at the bottom of our footer, there is a place under curriculum where it has standards. So if you click on the standards document, you'll be able to see, or the link, it will pull up all of the Common Core standards that are there. However, if you need a more thorough layout of the concepts specific to your state, if you can either contact us at info@codemonkey.com, or preferably if you can contact the person who set you up with your subscription, we can give you that customized standards alignment document for you that you need for the courses. It's a pretty hefty document, as very, very detailed with all of the standards and things like that. So if you need that, we're happy to provide that for you as well.
Great.
There was, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
There was this question, I know Amit answered this, but I thought it would be a good question for everybody. If I assign CodeMonkey Junior and Beaver Achiever, will it prompt students to start with CodeMonkey Junior before Beaver Achiever, or will it be up to them? So once all the courses are available to the students, let's say I unlock every single course, unless you guide them where to start, they really have the ability to kind of go wherever they want. So I always suggest keeping it pretty locked down. So if you want them to start with CodeMonkey Junior first, I would unassign all of the other courses and only leave CodeMonkey Junior as the option. Otherwise, the kids, you know what they do, and same with us. I just want to click everywhere and explore everything because they all have fun graphics and images, and so I just want to go where I want to go.
Right. And I see two more questions here regarding the archive. So just to clarify the way the student seats work. So once you've added the student to a classroom, they take up a seat in the classroom. The seat is theirs, it's a personal seat, and you can't transfer it. So when you archive the student, you can either archive a specific student through the student list, or just archive a whole classroom through the classrooms list. No, the student seats are not released, so you cannot reuse them. Again, if there's any a special case here, just feel free to contact us. And Danielle is asking, once we archive, but the students' progress email or info will continue for the next year for them to log in for the new year and new class, correct? So let me tell you that once you archive a student or a classroom, it's not like deleting. They're here, as you can see, we have here an archive section. Once you click on it, you'll see if you have any archived classrooms or students, you'll see them here. They're not deleted. At any time, you can restore them from the archive. And then if they're restored and are part of a classroom with an active subscription, they'll be able to continue their progress. Their progress is saved, and they'll be able to continue their progress next year.
We had another question. This was in Spanish, so I apologize. I just had to also translate it as well. So it said, how many levels are there for CodeMonkey Junior? I have very small students, 4 to 6. So the levels, Amit, would you be able to answer how many levels are on CodeMonkey Junior?
Sorry, how many challenges?
Yeah.
I believe we have 35 challenges at the moment.
For CodeMonkey Junior?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, I won't go in. Yeah, we lose track. But yeah, as well, CodeMonkey Junior also has a shorter teacher guide to it, also available for you right here in the teacher resources. So, you know, even before having your kiddos accessing this, it would be, you know, you should check this out as well.
Would you want to pull up a lesson plan so we can kind of see what the lesson plan looks like?
Yeah, good idea.
Oh, Andrea, thank you so much for answering that.
31.
She said the kindergarten junior is 31. Good, you're on top of it.
You'll be one of our panelists. So, let me give you also a control here, and you can show around the lesson plans.
Okay, great. So all of our lesson plans are set up in a similar fashion. Why can't I do it? Okay, good. Sorry. It's a little delay when you're doing the remote control. So you're able to see the lessons here. And so when you get to a lesson, each lesson has basically a summary of the lesson itself. And then it gets into the objectives that are presented and the components, which are what concepts the students are kind of working on throughout that lesson plan. You see the standards that are there for CSTA. And then every lesson plan starts out with an intro, which is an unplugged activity, something to introduce the students to the concept that's working. Then the part 2 is the playtime, and the last part is a debrief. And so this is all laid out here for you. Obviously, a lot of teachers are foregoing unplugged activities. We did do a webinar with our teacher ambassadors last week on how to do unplugged activities offline. So I would still challenge you to try to bring those unplugged activities as much as you can with your students. They really need that extra movement. There's lots of opportunity with that, like creating a video or having them share it or something like that. But that's how all of our lesson plans are set up for you. So those are there for you also as a guide to kind of help you during this time as well, and to introduce you if you're not sure about the concepts as well.
Great. I think we're almost, okay, I think we have a question here. Can't even see how to pay. Okay, so Laura, regarding your question regarding purchasing a subscription or purchasing additional seats, it would be best to contact us in the support email, and our sales team would reach out to you quickly to help with that. Okay. Amit, Lena, is there anything else you want to bring up before we end today's session?
I don't think so. I just would say, could you show the help center?
Oh, great idea. Great idea. So I'm back in the teachers platform here, and down here below, you'll be able to access our help center. We continue to add here different help articles on the different topics, getting started for teachers. So if you're new to CodeMonkey, it really shows you the first steps of things we've talked here and more. So different articles with graphics, with videos, really trying to make the process clear for you. And if anything's missing, you can just write us here, and it reaches our support. So we're always happy to help and add more content to our help center.
And I would just suggest that if you can't find something maybe in the how-to videos or something like that, almost all of the information that we'll probably share with you will link you back here to the Getting Started and to the Help Center. There's videos attached, there's directions, just a really good way for you to kind of go through that step-by-step on your side. I know that lots of you have been reaching out to us, and just like you know, there's thousands of teachers reaching out to us for subscriptions. So we're doing our best to answer you, and we appreciate all of your patience that you've had with us along the way. But if you can't find something, I would suggest checking out the Help Center first. And then obviously we're happy to guide you through the process as well.
Great.
A question here I'd just like to quickly answer about unplugged activities. So Nick asked, how many unplugged activities do you have? A large portion of my students do not have home internet access, making it hard to do online classes. I do have a need of paper activities. So I just wanted to mention that during these times, we do understand teachers' needs and more different types of activities that don't require a teacher being in front of a classroom, right? So we are working right now on trying to compile a few different activities you could do with your students, either like in this remote situation or without internet access. So I'm happy you asked this question, because it definitely shows we need to provide some of these things. So we don't have any at the moment, but hopefully in the upcoming weeks, we can share them in the teacher resources.
And just to kind of follow up on that note, we did do a webinar, Nick, with our teacher ambassadors last week on unplugged activities, and they have been working diligently on a lot of unplugged activities that kind of help you with that. So we're happy to share those resources with you too. Talia, do you mind showing all of the teachers where they can find past webinars?
Right, yeah, sure.
And then while she's kind of working on that, just wanted to say that, we thank you guys so much for joining us during this time. Someone had asked if we will provide some sort of certificate for this session. We will be providing a feedback form at the end of this. And so if you're looking for a certificate, you can just email us at info@codemonkey.com. And we're happy to provide you with that professional development learning, because we know you all need that during this time as well. That never stops, right?
Definitely, definitely. And we really appreciate also your questions and your feedback. We take a lot from that, and really appreciate you joining us today. I just posted in the chat a link so you can access past webinars. We also have here some student gear webinars that you can check out and maybe share with your students as well. And thank you very much for your feedback throughout this webinar. Lena, we wrap it up?
Yep. Do you want to go back to the slide deck?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we talked about the different webinars that are available, and we also posted the link in the chat. We also posted how you can access us either at info@codemonkey.com or support@codemonkey.com. Somebody from the team will get back to you. Thank you very much.
And thank you guys so much for joining us during this time. Remember, you can always reach out to us at info@codemonkey.com, or you can reach out to the person that has set you up with your subscription for any information regarding professional development or pedagogy or any of those things that kind of you're stuck on or anything like that. And as always, we want to thank you so much for joining us, and to follow us on all of our social media channels at CodeMonkey STU. And remember to write code, catch bananas, and save the world. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.